What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to Gnompton. A fond hi-do to all of you as we join the next episode in our pleasant little gnomish village in which we decide what we want to do today. I mean, I don't have a whole lot on the docket for what we need to complete. You'll see that I've arranged things up in the top left corner to be a bit more organized. I did want to thank you guys for that advice. That wasn't even something that I was aware I could do. Then again, I don't really explore games very well. I just kind of play them and then ignore everything else. So for right now, I think the things that we had running is if we run over to our carpenter, we have a bunch of tables being crafted out of birch right now, which may cause us a little bit of pain later on? Did I say craft 2? Oh, cancel that. We don't need 10 of those. Never mind. Those were just for our little dining hall right here. And so once we've got that off the table, I think what we need to focus on right now, we still have all of our armor going on over here. We do need to make some more tools for people. I had mentioned that, I think, in passing in one of the previous episodes, where I had said briefly that the reason why we weren't able to allocate a lot of people to new jobs was that they didn't have the tools that would allow them to do those jobs properly. Looks like all my woodworkers are just hanging out, so for right now I think what I'm going to do is we will fell all of these pine trees up here because we're going to be building up in that direction anyways. In one of my off times, I'm probably going to go through and wipe all that out. Nobody's planting any of the birch trees either. That may be due to the fact that we simply do not have enough adequate farmers. As I recall, we had 2 females in this field. And what you can do is you can actually make kind of a little bit of a funnel system. So if you ever need to funnel your cows, it's going to need to be like a giant funnel. But cows can be funneled, even though they aren't quite as liquidy as one might think. So what you do is you make another field. You say that this one is only allowed to have 1 male and infinite females. You make another field that says that it can have infinite males. And what will happen is once this one's full, they'll put all the males in this field. And then you can just have all of your butchery come from that field over and over and over again. So that they're constantly just pulling animals out of there, butchering them real fast, and then bring them on back in as lovely, delicious beef sausage or anything else that you might want. Yuck. So, what's going on over here with our fighters? Let's make sure that they're ready to roll. I wanted to look at their skills. It was something that I had thought about in between episodes. So, Mr. Cuddlesworth is doing 29 fighting right now with 16 brawling, 26 hammer, not too bad, 31 dodge, which is very nice. Wish his armor skill was a little bit higher, but not much I can do about that. He's been training for a long time, so it'll work out. Between the two of them, I think we should definitely have a pretty good team of bruisers slash killers on our hands. On this side of the field, it looks like we've got hauling going right there. Very good. Not going to pick my way through any of the other fruit that I think is laying around, just because we're about to hit winter. And I think that once we get to winter, well, I know that once we get to winter, things aren't going to grow anymore. But the other part of that is I'm just going to leave the fruit out there so that I can use it when I need it. On this side, is this thing still making out of... See, it always says that... It says any log eventually, which always worries me that they're burning my birch. Which is then just like, damn it, you never burn a man's birch. A man has but 1 birch to live with his entire life, and if you burn that birch, he can't get another one. I mean, even with the marvels of plastic surgery, it's tough to get another birch. I believe what I'd like to do now is... My miners are all working, correct? Or are they sleeping right now? Okay, so my miners are working. They're busy hammering out bronze. It looks like another piece of equipment has been finished over here, which is a bronze pauldron. It's a poorly crafted bronze pauldron, which is disappointing, but it's better than no bronze pauldron because everybody knows that's played any fantasy game recently that the larger your shoulder pads are, the better. And if you don't have them, then you're frankly not going to survive. You are the red shirt of whatever lore you're in. So now that both of our guards have full shoulder paddage, I feel a lot better about the fact that they're probably going to make it into the future from here. All of our food crops have been planted. I don't think they're going to come back in before anything else. Before winter gets here, I doubt that we're going to have another harvest. Nonetheless, it never hurts to have a bit more prepared, so it'll probably be okay. I would love, in the beginning of our next season, to get another farmer. That would be absolutely stellar. The other thing that I'd like to do is, I think, it's not the smelter, it's the blacksmith. Let's go ahead and make ourselves 2 more felling axes. And we actually don't want those to be made out of any bar. We want those to be out of bronze. So we'll make 2 bronze felling axe heads, and then we'll call those felling axes in just a moment. And the other thing that I wanted to have were a few more pickaxe heads so that I don't have to worry about that. So once we get those 4 things done, we've only got a couple more things going for us. Like we've got to do the bronze breastplate over here. But beyond that point, both of our guards are pretty well armed at this point. They're both pretty well armored, so they can't get punched in the throat or killed anymore. Is our ambassador still here? Dindakanji is indeed still here and eating out of our food stocks, which is disappointing. However, it is going to be paramount that we get a trader in the middle of the winter because I prefer to have our food stocks and our drink stocks around 300 apiece when I go into the first winter, and unfortunately I have fallen short. And that's better than falling tall because that happens to be quite fatal, but falling short is okay in this case because we do have enough random things like random pickables on all of the trees around here that we can just run out and grab what we need. Kind of do like a supermarket run in the middle of the winter if worse comes to worse, and we can just turn it all into whatever. The big issue is, do you have all of your facilities kind of plugged in and ready to go before you go into winter, which means that you really don't want to be doing a whole lot of construction once winter comes around. I'm going to replace the floor in here because our builders don't seem to be doing a whole lot. Let's replace the floor on this side with, yeah, let's do a block floor, I guess. I'm not going to call it like a decorative stone floor, but let's get them going. See if we can't kind of get this place looking a little bit nicer around the edges. And then once we get that done, it is going to be a little bit stressful. So one of the things that I never really enjoyed in Gnomoria is building upwards, because it tends to be kind of a pain. You can trap yourself in a corner very, very easily and just kind of end up with gnomes trapped. I am hoping that later on they add some kind of scaffolding to make like building upwards a little bit easier. Hopefully it won't be exploitable. That's the big problem with scaffoldings as implemented in a lot of crafting games. They tend to turn out to be a little bit exploitable. So for example in towns, very, very exploitable. You can place them, you can get rid of them super fast, but at the same time it's way easier to build things upwards once you do it. So in towns versus Gnomoria. So in this game what we have to do, just to kind of plot out what your goal is if you don't know how to build upwards. So we'll have to put in ramps, and then we have to build a floor on top of each of one of these, like a block floor. Once we've done that, we've got to go through and put the next layer in, and then we've got to just kind of rinse and repeat, continuing to put in large platforms to allow us to get up there each time. And so it just becomes kind of a cumbersome thing to get done as you work your way around. And then you've got to kind of build these little things that I prefer to go up along one of the walls with like a staircase of some sort. That seems to be the best way for me to do it personally. So what I would do is I would say that we could build a stairs up right here that are made out of stone. And what I would do is I would just strap those in right there. And that'll allow us to have an access point to at least this side right here. They can't walk corners, so that might cause us a little bit of a headache right there. I'll probably have to put in soil platforms around every little kind of corner area. And then we have to build one block at a time from the edges so that nobody ends up getting confused and building out of order. And it's not my favorite way to construct things, and actually we're not on speedy mode right now, so let's put things back on speedy mode because I actually really don't like playing this game on anything other than 2 times until we get into combat anyways. Once you get into combat it can be a little bit, I was going to say a little bit safer, but no, it's not safer. It's unsafe to do that in combat. I mean, there's not much you can do about it anyways, but you know, we'll just keep it where it is for right now because I feel like whatever it is properly placed. We've got it organized, and so why concern ourselves with its placement any longer? We've got logs. We've got drink. I'm feeling pretty good about all this. Let's take a look at our grain supply. Going into our stocks, we'll jump in and we'll take a look at our goods from there. Appears as though we have 0 grain remaining, so that means our drinks are pretty much resting on their laurels right now. Why our drinks come strapped with laurels? Not entirely sure. I mean, I like a stiff drink every now and again, but once a drink has developed its own personal laurels that are just kind of dangling around from the tankard, I feel as though we may have entered a situation where drinking has become very, very awkward. That weird feeling of something bumping into your chin as you knock back the old mug there. But anyways, they've left the wheelbarrow out again. Why they insist on doing it seems to be poor form. Very poor form. We also need to get rid of this hill right here to give ourselves some more build space before I start building our retaining wall, which I think is also probably something that I should get going. The downside here is that I believe one of my miners is now stuck. Oh good, we got all of those done too. That's nice. However, we don't have anybody smelting anything, so that's to be expected. Maybe cancel this job off for right now, just to make sure that other things are getting done that need to get done. I would like to get some more tools, obviously, and so increasing our workforce at the moment is going to be the best way to make sure that things get done in a better fashion than they have been lately, because right now we're still basically operating on under the basic premise of the gnomes that we were given during the earlier parts of our playthrough, so it'll be okay. Everything will work out perfectly fine. It's kind of funny, one of my teachers this morning, so one of my teachers got a new job and he's transferring to like a new state. He's moving somewhere else completely, and this is the last week of school for our current semester, and he's totally clocked out. And if you know this teacher, he was clocked out to begin with. He's like he's basically like early 30s, late 20s. Oh good, we've got a bear in the middle of our territory again. We could probably get away with fighting a bear right now, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's a little bit of extra injury that I just don't feel like we should probably get in there and cause any more risk than we have to. But anyways, this teacher has basically clocked out. He came in this morning, he was like, so I'm assigning the last lab today, and you can turn it in or you can not turn it in. I'm not going to grade it, and it's not going to affect your grade. You can do the final or you can not do the final. Once again, I don't care. I have a new job waiting for me. So basically, don't come to class, goof off, do whatever the hell you want, and I'll see you later. And he just like walked out, and we were all like, okay, that seems alright. And basically, they can't do anything to him. He's already been given a professorship at another school starting next semester. So it's like one of those hilarious things where it benefits me. I mean, I haven't learned anything in that class anyways. It's one of those classes you take just to like pass time when you're a senior, because you have to hit like your unit cap or whatever to make sure that you still get all your grants. So, not concerned. We've got 3 bronze bars going right there. All of the felling axe heads have been completed. So what we want to do now is we will make 2 bronze felling axes, and then we will make 2 bronze pickaxes. And so, nope. There we go. And so we've got 2 bronze felling axes and 2 bronze pickaxes coming. I don't know why I keep saying pickaxes. Like a pickaxe sounds like something that might be useful if you had really like short arms and you just couldn't get at yourself on a really itchy, sweaty day. Like a pickaxe seems like it might be useful in certain situations, but as of right now, not so useful for us unless we've been really itchy lately. I don't know if there's been like a flea outbreak or anything. Let's make pine crates to help out our metal storage location. And then over here we should probably get a couple more of those as well. I like my storage to be really, really organized. I don't know if you guys do, but I do. Let's take a look at our kingdom worth right now. And it appears as though we were sitting at about 10,000, so we're at a safety zone still. We can go up to about 14, 15 before anything really terrible starts happening. By the time we get there, I'd like to have bronze weapons on both of my gnomes. So a bronze hammer for one, and then a bronze... What's the other guy good with? Smash Nasty, what are you decent with? Smash Nasty is pretty decent with nothing, actually. She's just really good at swinging away with her fists. So if there were brass knuckles or anything like that, I would really love to give that to her, because it appears as though she's kind of come into her own as a fist fighter. She's kind of the Ronda Rousey of our kingdom here. And so there's one of our first pickaxes that has already been made. Oh no, it's a bronze felling axe, okay. A finely crafted bronze felling axe, although it's not worth very much, which is strange, because it did use bronze as part of its constituency of its parts, so... I suppose that actually just takes like the flat sum of whatever it is. If you look, I think it just added the half to the head, and that was that, and that's really just kind of what you get out of it. For right now, we don't have a whole lot of things to get done in the kingdom, so I'm just going to kind of hang tight, and we can hang out here, and hopefully something good will happen that'll kind of lubricate the conversation for a little bit, because as of right now, ooh, good, as we speak, there's the music that's going to let us know that goblins are on their way into our kingdom to possibly just kind of take everything that we have from us. So we'll wait for them to show up. It'll pause the game up once they get here. It'll be alright, though. God. And so we've got 3 of those done right there. They haven't placed any of the ones up at the top. That's okay. How many birch tables are sitting here right now? We just have the 1. Well, the 1 birch table could be useful somewhere. I don't think it's going to help us out much down here. What we might consider doing is turning all of this into like a stone underground so that it's worth a little bit more, or finishing the flooring in here might be a good idea too. Hadn't really thought about that. We could also put in some pine chairs to help the whole thing along, but I'd rather use birch. The birch, oh, that's an orange grove, so it's been partially planted. It looks like somebody's working on it right now, which is actually really good. If we can get an orchard up and running, I would be stoked. All the planting's been done. Farmers are getting it done. I'm proud of them. They're definitely managed to make sure, or at least make sure that there's a little bit of a dent. Like with most of the, when you get a dent done in a job, it's got like a kind of a pejorative way of being said, because like when you go to the supermarket, there's like the dented cans, you know, and I'm poor, I'm a broke college student, so if I can find a dented can and bring it up to the front and be like, yeah, 25 cents off, and I just risk food poisoning because I feel pretty good about my digestive tract, I think I'll survive it. I would be willing to gamble my life for that 25 cents, I think. Maybe I'm just stupid, maybe I'm just daft, but damn it, I saved my 25 cents. Only God can judge me now or something. But anyways, as I was saying, you make a dent in a job. I've always thought that, you know what, it's weird that that's positive, but like denting a can, or like denting somebody's ego is a negative thing. It's weird how, given circumstance, some things can be positive and some things can be negative, even though they're like the exact same figure of speech. My giant worry right now is that they're gonna go take a nap right when the goblins attack. Well, the goblins didn't attack and it played their music, so maybe... I don't know. I'm hoping they sleep fast because we haven't been attacked in a little while. Granted, I haven't checked when we were last attacked, but I do feel as though we're probably in the realm of getting annihilated fairly shortly. We can build some, like, ease of life things over here. Let's go ahead and make things more beautiful. I think we can go with, let's build, I think there's furniture, and we can do, like, a picket fence. A picket fence is made out of planks? Weird. Let's go pine planks, I guess, then. And what we'll do is we'll just go all the way. Is it going to connect these? Let's find out. I've never used these before, so let's just see if it automatically attaches them, as I hope it will. And we're going to make like a beautiful little fence around our enclosure for our yaks. Just make it look a little bit more pleasant so that things look civilized. I don't like my gnomes to look uncivilized. I prefer to put napkins on the table. Whether they use them or not, I'm not really sure. I mean, half of them wander around. The goblin has died. Where is he? Oh, they're fighting with a bear. Yeah, hell yeah, that bear is my hero. We shall name that bear Goblin Gasher. Can I name the bear right now? Because he downright just mollywopped those bastards. And he might bleed to death too, which means we'll get a bear to butcher. Hopefully he doesn't go psycho on us. Okay, so he didn't go postal on us, so he just went off. Well, that handles one problem. I guess we've been organizing bears as part of our kingdom. I guess that's what Smash Nasty's been up to lately. She trained a bear to go out and kill our goblin foes. Nothing to complain about there. Picket fence does appear to work like I think it does, so let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and put it in right here. That's cool. I like this. And so what we'll do, since we already have a gap right there, I think what I'm going to plan on doing is we'll have like a little road that kind of run around here. Oh god, I'm so popular. Oh Jesus, what am I ever going to do? People are texting me. You guys are building birch fences, damn it. I've done something stupid again. So let's go ahead and cancel all those jobs. I got to go down to the proper level. I shouldn't blame them for doing the dumb shit that I ordered them to do. I want to deconstruct that fence right there. And soon as they get back to it... Oh good, we did get one harvest in before winter got here. Well, that's a pleasant surprise. I'm not going to complain about it. That's really, really good. So we broke that down. Let's go ahead and try one more time to see if we can do this properly this time. We got the picket fence, and we're going to use pine planks this time so that we don't do the wrong thing. And so unfortunately I have to click these out one by one because they don't extend like other things in the game do. So if you hear my frenzied clicking, I apologize. My mouse is a little bit... I don't know, it clicks quite crisply, if I had to classify it. And so there it is, although I suppose I'd rather have that. I was playing Far Cry 3 when my last mouse broke. It depressed, and it never unpressed again. It just went into a state of depression. I couldn't get it... I tried to get to it with the antidepressants as rapidly as I could. I had, like, Lunesta. I think Lunesta is a sleeping medication, never mind. Well, I gave it a bunch of Lunesta, and then it never woke up, so I suppose that's probably my fault, too. So... nonetheless, I tried to take it apart and fix it, but with the way that it was a Razer product, with the way Razer puts on like the top part of their chassis, it doesn't come off very easily without breaking. I don't think they designed it to be disassembled. I think they designed it precisely as they meant it, because it always seems... I've tried to disassemble 2 or 3 Razers now, and they always seem to break at the exact same points, and I'm almost at the point where I think it's engineered by design to do that, so that you have to go buy a new one and there's no way to fix it. But then again, maybe I'm just kind of... They used to call me Dynamite at the repair shop because I could break anything. And I could disassemble anything. It was putting it back together that was always my problem. People had trouble disassembling like a laptop or something. They give it an old Dynamite, and I'd sit down and I'd have it, that thing taken apart in 5 seconds flat. Whether or not I remember to make a diagram of how I took it apart remained to be seen, and so that caused a whole lot of drama. But anyways, so much drama. So much drama. So now that we've got that all done, do we have enough to actually finish this entire field? If we do... What is this setup? Let me make sure that my orange grove doesn't get chopped down. Yeah, don't fell the trees in the orange grove. Pick the fruit, cut the clippings, and plant saplings, but don't chop the trees down. The orange wood, it's better than the pine wood that we're using, but you know what I mean. I'll probably actually keep this towards the back of the base, and what we'll do is we'll actually build this way. This will become our... I don't know what I want this to be. This will probably be some kind of workshop or something. I haven't really decided what I want to make this into. Maybe this will be like our woodworking center, in which case we'll make this into our stoneworking area because we've already made the whole thing out of stone. It seems like it would make more sense to build things out of log, or out of logs, or logs, pluralized logs, if they're going to be the area where we do all of our woodworking, so maybe I'll do that there. I wanted to make a little road, and so what I think I'm going to do is we'll build a bit of terrain And we will replace the floor, and we want to do that, never mind, we'll do that through the terrain menu because it's a little bit easier if we do it like that. And I don't know what I want the floor to be built out of. I mean, I think a basic stone floor will work. Just allow people to get around a little bit quicker. And I know this is a big job that I'm queuing up for everybody to get done with, but I feel like organizing everything right now is probably a decent plan. So what we'll do is we'll have that run to the center right there. And I can't guarantee that I'm lining this up properly. There it is. So that looks nice. I think that'll be cool. And then we'll put doors in and whatnot, and everything will be great. Based on the metrics of this thing, though, I would like to do something decorative right here to make it look a little bit better. So it's a 7 space, which means my middle is probably going to be... Oh, it's 8. Never mind. I'm going to have to double up in the center. And this is going to be a job that's going to take them quite some time to complete. So what I may consider doing... I should probably line up. I forgot something too. So we'll go and replace the floor one more time with stones. And this time they don't need to be cut or anything like that. It doesn't have to be cut stone for this to work, so it'll be fine. And there it is. That's a huge job that I've lined up for them to complete, but I feel like once it's done, everything will be looking a little bit more organized. It'll be a nice little area that we have for us, and what I'll do is I'll put in like decorative trees and stuff around right here. And then what we'll do is we'll run this off this way, and we'll start putting in little residential areas, so a little house for each gnome, kind of some kind of hut with like a thatched roof or something, and each gnome will have their own little house that they can live in. And how badass will that be? So over here, it looks like, oh good, they finally replaced that. How many bronze bars are we up to? None, in fact. Or maybe they're placing them in an opposite location. Oh no, I'm actually right for once. So that's one of those weird times where I just stumble into being right head first, just like thunk. And that's that. We've got sapphires, those poorly cut. I bet they are. Did we ever finish off our jeweler? I think I'd like to build a jeweler today too. Although we do have a lot of building jobs going, so I think what I'll do right now is let me break off this episode. I'll break it off a little bit early because I feel like nothing else is going to get done for the remainder of all this. We do have a lot of building jobs queued up. The farmers are doing their thing. They're going to get the fence put in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let the game run for a little bit. And once the game runs for a little while, when we come back, I will have a brand new episode for you guys where we will go out and kind of orchestrate something else. I don't know. We'll come up with a new kind of project. We're kind of hitting that Minecraft mode in the game where we do have our basic production, but I mean, we kind of just want to beautify at this point and make everything look nice. I think a retaining wall, after we get... It's probably ill-advised of me to make this right here, but considering we got a freebie pass on that last group of goblins, I think what I'll do is we'll do a retaining wall pretty soon. My big problem with the retaining wall right now is I don't know where to put the gates for it. So once we get the retaining wall going, I'm definitely going to need to get rid of this hill right here and get rid of this hill right here, which is not something that I relish the thought of doing. I mean, I suppose I could have the walls travel upwards, but that'd be a whole lot of work for not a whole lot of payout. So I think what I might do is just get rid of this entire hill to buy myself a little bit more breathing room. Or maybe just get rid of this one and build in this direction full bore. And just say, kind of, screw it to this direction. I don't know. I'll think about it a little bit further. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for another episode of Gnomoria in Gnompton. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody. And as always, I bid you a fond farewell, a hi-do. I will see you there. Bye, guys.